Michael's with us in Washington, D.C. Hey, Michael, welcome to the Entree Podcast. What's up?
Hey, thanks, Dave. Thanks for all you do for small businesses.
My honor, sir. How can we help?
Okay, so 724 Consulting is a structural engineering firm that I started in 2017. We have 6 engineers, including myself, and 1 part-time admin, she's in charge when I'm not there because she's my wife and I'm a smart man. And so we do between $1.5 and $1.8 million annually. And so when I take your EntreLeadership assessment, it defines me as a pathfinder, which I don't disagree with, but I also have traits of the trailblazer, peak performer, and legacy builder, which also includes a 15-year plan that I started this past year since I turned 50. And so, but the one thing, the question that I had for you is, quite often, I really love hopping back on the treadmill and getting projects done. I'm a Enneagram type 3, so I love, working on a project, getting it done, moving on to the next project. And so I wanted to know if I don't have a desire to grow my business. I think it's a sweet spot for the type of work that we do. And so what I was wondering is, do you have any cautionary advice for me for, kind of taking a certain percentage of my days, weeks, and months and hopping on that treadmill to work on projects, generate revenue, and doing all those good types of things that I enjoy?
I would disagree that you're hopping on a treadmill. I think you're just helping with production. I'm sitting here doing a podcast. I'm not on the treadmill. Okay? I didn't give up my CEO role, and I didn't regress from the legacy builder stage all the way back to treadmill just because I sat down and did a podcast or I step on stage and teach a lesson. But the difference is, can the place exist if I'm not doing that? And the answer is yes, it can. And the answer in your case is yes, it can. So you're not regressing to the treadmill stage when you do some production. If you don't want to grow the team, that doesn't mean that you don't still go through some of these stages of business. It's not about team size. It's not about revenue top line to go through the stages of business. It's about the characteristics of the business. And you do not want to run a treadmill business in perpetuation. It's the hardest stage. Everything counts on you. And if you don't create revenue and you don't do production, the place shuts down around you. And that's not your company. Your company's not at that stage. That's not what you told me. You truly are Pathfinder / Trailblazer. You're hovering right there in the middle, and you're working your way through those things. So what you want is a business that runs and serves the customer with beauty and everything else without you being there. And you can still step in and do a project if you want to. Because the team is mature and competent and confident. And so you're delegating the business. The business operates fine without Michael and his wife there. And so, but you don't have to be, there's no requirement you move to 70 people or 700 people to move through a stage. The stages are the characteristics. Are you able to delegate? Are you doing time management? Are you actually doing strategic planning and thinking out in the future? You're doing every bit of that. You told me that. And so you're working through the stages without changing your employee number and maybe even without changing your revenue number. I think you'll see your revenue number continue to grow some just because as the business matures and everybody becomes so much stronger and more competent in their situation. But no, I encourage you to continue to do some of the projects that you love. That's why I'm sitting here right now. I love doing this. So I don't have to, though, for the place to exist. That's the trick. And that's the designation and the difference maker. So, interesting question. It sounds like you're probably doing a whole lot better than you're giving yourself credit for. But you're not in all 5 stages at once. Just because you have a characteristic of 1 or 2 of the stages, that doesn't mean you're in that stage. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.